That was absolutely fantastic. Never in all my life have I ever seen anything like that. And here, it just drops right in my lap. Oh, absolutely fabulous. Can you imagine it? All of time and space for you to see? Where would you go? What would you see? And what could you experience at... Oh, hello. James, what are you doing? I'm not James. I'm you. I mean, you're me. Oh, never mind. I'm from the future. So you're telling me you're me from the future? Exactly. Then why are you wearing one of James's shirts? I told you, I'm not James. Oh, and that's a long story. Yeah, whatever. So what are you doing here? I'm here to tell you some absolutely fantastic news. How to win $1 million? No, silly. That would cause a tear in the very fabric of the space-time continuum. Not to mention it would destroy the universe as we know it. Oh, I see. Then why are you here? I'm here to... I forgot. I was here for something important. It was... What was it? Oh, I was here to tell you about the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. You're here to tell me about the day of the Doctor? Precisely. This information could determine the very fate of this world, maybe even the universe. Yeah. What in the world? There are two of you? Oh, dear God, help me. James, you fiend! I knew you were behind us in some way. I'll stop you. What are you doing? I'm dispatching you with my sonic screwdriver. Your pen? No, my sonic screwdriver. Now prepare to be thwarted. How rude! I guess I'm just gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Whoa there, Krimson. You can deal with him later. What do you have to tell me? It's about what happens on the day of the Doctor. The Doctor is about to discover. No. I don't want any spoilers. But the fate of the universe hangs in the balance. So you say. Look, I appreciate you traveling back in time to... By the way, how did you travel back in time? Oh, you know, a little bit of wibbly, wobbly, timey-wimey sort of way. Should have known. Like I said, I appreciate the effort, but I don't want anyone, and I mean anyone, spoiling the 50th anniversary for Doctor Who for me. So just get back in your time machine, TARDIS, whatever, and go back to the future where you belong. But, no buts, go. You heard me, go. Oh, by the way, I got one piece of advice for you. Bring jelly babies next time? Lose the fedora. It doesn't suit you. But I love the fedora. Fedoras are cool. So are sunglasses. Should have known. Don't look at me. Y'all are Doctor Who fanatics. Just go. Fine. Next stop, anywhere. You know he's going to the shed, right? Yeah, I know. Geronimo! Hey everyone, sorry about earlier, but apparently sometime in the future I learned how to time travel and decided it's like important to come back in the past and risk a paradox of all things just to tell myself about the Doctor Who 50th anniversary. I'm telling you. Anyways, welcome to this very special edition of Crimson's Corner, which is about the Doctor Who 50th anniversary preview. As we know, the name of this particular special is The Day of the Doctor, and it's what Doctor Who fans across the world have been waiting for ever since the end of Season 7 with The Name of the Doctor and the introduction of this apparent hidden Doctor that we've never seen before, played by John Hurt. Now, the question that's been going on through everyone's mind is, what is this special going to be about? I mean, what's it going to cover? What, mysteries of the Doctor is it going to tell? But you know what? Before we get into that, let's get a little bit about what we do know about this episode so far. Well, for one, we know it continues off of The Name of the Doctor, where it's revealed that there is this offshoot Doctor that we've never heard about, played by John Hurt, and apparently he did something so terrible the Doctor doesn't want to acknowledge it ever happened. Well, obviously this episode is going to have something to do with that. We also know this marks the return of the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, which is big news because I personally am a big David Tennant fan. He was, besides Tom Baker, he's my favorite Doctor. So I am ecstatic that he's returning for this, as well as Billie Piper playing Rose. So we're getting all kinds of nice little goodies. What else do we know? Well, we do now know that this involves the Time War. And also, thanks to a little mini episode called Night of the Doctor, we find out exactly where John Hurt's Doctor fits in. And apparently, he's the regeneration from Paul McGann's Doctor, the 8th Doctor. So, does that make him the 9th Doctor, and Christopher Eccleston as actually the 10th, David Tennant actually being the 11th, Matt Smith actually being the 12th? Stephen Moffat has assured us that even though technically this now makes Matt Smith the 12th Doctor, that it's not, the number's not going to change, but it still leaves you a question in your mind about how that's going to, transgress later on down the road, especially considering there's only a limitation of 12 regenerations, 13 Doctors. With that in mind, the new Doctor, which was introduced to us earlier, was Peter Capaldi. So does that make him now the 13th/last Doctor? Only time will tell. But what else do we know? Well, we know the Zygons are returning, which are a shape-shifting alien race that was only seen in one series of episodes with the 4th Doctor, Tom Baker. And we also know the Daleks are returning through the commercials, the previews of it. And obviously that has something to do with the Time War. And also, we're going to see the Time Lords again, and Gallifrey. We're going to return to the Time War, return to Gallifrey, and finally see what happened. Which excites me, because this has always been a mysterious part of the show, ever since the return of Doctor Who with Christopher Eccleston. We got introduced to this Time War, but we never were told exactly what happened. We know he did something really bad, and it destroyed both Dalek and Time Lord alike, but we never knew exactly what it was. All we know is it was called The Moment, and that was introduced The End of Time, Part 1 or Part 2. I can't remember which one it was, but we know this moment is the thing that destroys Daleks and Time Lords and ends the Time War. Apparently it was so bad the Doctor didn't want to remember this. What else do we know? Apparently David Tennant's doctor and Matt Smith's doctor are going to have to join together to beat their former version from doing something. Maybe he wants to go past stopping the Daleks and the Time Lords. Maybe he wants to destroy the whole universe. Who knows? But it's only time will tell that. What else? Let's see. Well, we know that Queen Elizabeth I will be in it, because that's apparently where we meet David Tennant's doctor. Apparently an adventure involving the Zygons. So maybe we'll finally get a little more of what happened between the Doctor and Queen Elizabeth I, because he's mentioned her quite a bit throughout his take on being the Doctor, and he even said he married her at one point, so she couldn't be called by one of her nicknames. So maybe that'll finally get answered. We know that the Brigadier's daughter is returning for this episode, which her introduction was in The Power of Cube, I think is the name of the episode. Sorry, if I get these wrong, I'm not good with titles, but I do know the episode. And that was the introduction of the Brigadier's daughter. And so she's returning, but that should be outstanding. It'd be great to have a unit presence in the show once again, because I missed that from the third and the fourth Doctor. I don't know if it was much in the fifth Doctor, because once they got to the fifth Doctor, I sort of went off of Doctor Who for a little while, which don't stone me for that. But we also know that this will involve paintings, apparently. The official synopsis is something along the lines of that the Doctor's going to go through his darkest days in his grand adventure in the 50th anniversary, where one place, a murder mystery is apparently supposed to take place, which is supposed to be in the era of Queen Elizabeth I, and something's supposed to be awakening in paintings in recent times, which, like I said, that's involving Matt Smith and the Brigadier's daughter, and then somebody's supposed to be putting an end to an ancient war, which we know that has to do with John Hurt's Doctor and the Time War. So, I mean, that's exciting. It sounds like one hell of an adventure, and I'm waiting to see it unfold. And especially was excited when I saw Paul McGann, who I thought got ripped off for just having one shot at being on screen, and that was only for the movie slash backdoor pilot, which never took off and never continued on to its own series, which I guess in a way it's probably a good thing, because that's how we got Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant and Matt Smith and where we are now. But the only real stories that Paul McGann got to be in was the audio plays. So, I mean, he did get to continue on being a Doctor, but he never did it on screen. And with this mini episode that I had just shown of The Night of the Doctor, it really closed the book on that in a sense. But there's a lot of people that would love to see him back as the Doctor, so maybe we might see a sneak peek of that. Maybe we'll get some little extras in there we didn't expect. Paul McGann, it would be nice to see him back as the Doctor, especially after that little clip. Now, the thing about The Night of the Doctor, it also brought back the Sisters of Karn, which, you know what, which is odd, because both the Zygons and the Sister of Karn are from the Fourth Doctor era. I found that kind of unusual, and maybe something about the Fourth Doctor's adventures might play into this, because it's odd. There's no coincidences. Can't speak late at night. What can I say? But I think there might be something there. Does that mean that Tom Baker might make an appearance? Speaking of which, are any other of the Doctors going to make an appearance? I mean, already we know Stephen Moffat lied, or, you know, try to mislead us into believing that there was going to be no other Doctors in this, and already we got Paul McGann back, so
what about the other living members? And not to mention the fact with the drama documentary of the creation of Doctor Who, with the guy that's playing the William Hartnell, the first Doctor, and there's supposed to be someone playing Patrick Troughton. Maybe we can see them actually playing as their characters in this episode in some capacity, which would be a nice touch, because a lot of people want to see as many Doctors as possible, especially as many that are alive. You know, there's just, I mean, ever since this whole thing started, when we started seeing Doctors meeting Doctors, they always want as many of the living Doctors in it as possible. So it would be a nice touch. I don't know if it would overdo it. I mean, obviously it's not going to be a big deal. Like in the Five Doctors. The Five Doctors, you know, they all play an integral part in the story. I don't think we'll see that in this. I think it'll be more, if they do, it's going to be little, how can I put this? Little tidbits, little special appearances here and there. Like maybe we'll, as like the paintings. I heard something about the paintings where we'll see the Doctor's lives in paintings, and maybe that's how they'll do it, because they're supposed to be animated, and maybe in a way they'll play those parts. But I'll get to that part in a second about the paintings, because there is a theory about what this episode is going to be about. From somebody on YouTube had broadcasted this, and it could be spoilers, but I'll get to that in a second. Okay, what else can I talk about with this nice, lovely episode that we're all waiting on? Like I said, it's definitely going to finally put an end to the Time War mystery. Finally, we're going to get to see what the Time War was truly about, and see what made people fear Time Lords and Daleks alike. Because we saw in the Night of the Doctor that people, like Cass, who I guess was human, feared the Doctor, who was a Time Lord, just as much as the Daleks. What the hell happened? I know they turned evil in the end. At least that's what the Doctor said in the end of time, that they became just as bad as the Daleks. But, you know, I thought maybe this happened, you know, after the fact. But apparently, maybe they started the war. I don't know. Maybe the Daleks might not appear as the bad guy here. Maybe they might appear as the victim. Who knows? All I know is it's going to be a great wrap-up to finally get to see behind this veil of the Time War. And Stephen Moffat has also said that this one and the Christmas special was going to wrap up everything on the Matt Smith era. And there have been a lot of clues flung around here and there, with different things, and little loose ends here and there. And they're supposed to be nice and neatly tied up by the Christmas special, when Matt Smith steps down as the Doctor and the new Doctor, Peter Capaldi, steps in. But then things change, because this is supposed to be a big thing after the Christmas special that's supposed to change the way Doctor Who is. Change the, I think he said the narration of Doctor Who. Which I think he means that the fact is that usually it's shown from the Doctor's eyes, what happens. But now it's going to be shown more from Clara's eyes, because she's going to have to deal with a new Doctor, a new personality, and sound of it, he may be a little quirkier or darker than his previous incarnations. So this should be interesting. We all know Peter Capaldi, and a lot of people have made jokes that he's going to be cussing and swearing away and being this badass from the TV shows he's already in. But maybe we'll actually get to see that darker side. And also, Stephen Moffat said, which I know I'm getting off the subject of the Day of the Doctor with Peter Capaldi, but they said they're supposed to not ignore the fact that Peter Capaldi has been in a previous episode of Doctor Who, which we know as The Fires of Pompeii, and at the same time in Torchwood. Miracle Day, I think was the name of the episode. I'm not good on my episodes on Torchwood as I am Doctor Who. I'm getting there though. But we'll see how that all goes. But aside from that though, the Day of the Doctor looks like it's going to be one of the awesome show. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And now we're just less than 24 hours from the big spectacular that is supposed to be shown in theaters around the world, including in the U.S., which I'm excited because I'm in the U.S. I'm a U.S. fan. I'm not in Britain. I wish sometimes I was, especially for this. But it's going to be showing in theaters in 3D. I'm only hoping that I'll be able to afford to actually go and see it. And hopefully it'll come close enough that I can, because my transportation means is very limited. But we'll see. We'll see how that all works out. If not, we'll find some way, hopefully, to see it in 3D, because that would be out-freaking-standing. Now let's go to the question of what could possibly happen here. Well, for starters, I get to say one of the famous lines of the show. Spoilers. If you don't want to know anything about what I'm about to say, turn off the video right now, because I'm about to go into the speculation side and what I've heard. Now, there is some rumor going around that John Hurt's Doctor is not the actual Doctor. In fact, they're saying he's Omega, disguising himself as a Doctor. Now, if that's the case, that would be mind-blowing just as well. Is it true? Is he really Omega, or is he truly the Doctor? Now, in this one script I heard, he's supposed to be once again trying to reclaim the Doctor's lives as his own, so he can come back into our world or our universe. And apparently he's supposed to trick the two doctors and try to get them to give up their lives for him. And another revelation of this apparent story is that Matt Smith's Doctor is dead. He's just pretty much what River Song was at the end of the Name of the Doctor, just an echo. He's not really there. None of anything he's done has really happened, because he never survived back on the oh Lord, y'all gonna kill me for this, but at the end of the fifth season, when he went up in the Pandorica to stop the TARDIS from exploding, he never survived that. He doesn't exist. So, in reality, none of what happened after season 5 happened. But, supposedly at the end of this special, he regains his life, and as a result, reestablishes all that he has done, and becomes alive, becoming once again the 11th Doctor. Now, that would be very interesting if this happens. Now, I mean, when I read this, it sounded very much like a Doctor Who special. It really did. It really sounded like a story that would be for Doctor Who. And it would be a little disappointing, because I do like the fact that this possibly is a true regeneration of the Doctor. And if done this way, when we lose out on that, but we also have return of Omega, which there have apparently been signs of Omega. His sign has been everywhere, including with River Song, which is very interesting. But then again, going back on speculation, if this particular story is not true, then maybe in the Christmas special we'll see him, because there have been signs. The Omega sign has been spotted throughout the series, this Matt Smith series, so it is possible. And maybe that fact we'll learn that Omega is behind this and trying to destroy the Doctor and his good name. What better revenge could you have? And to maybe make him feel so depressed that he wants to die and wants to give his lives to Omega. I mean, it's all speculation, I guess, at this point. But the thing is, though, the obvious big speculation that, well, the biggest question, I should say, that people have is what does this mean for the Doctor? If this is a regeneration of his, does this mean that Peter Capaldi's is the last Doctor? And if so, what are they going to do when it's time for Peter Capaldi to step down? Do we end Doctor Who? Which, I mean, shows end. It happens. We all know it. Some of our favorite shows have gone poof into the distant yonder. But, you know, Doctor Who fans are furious. Are dedicated. We love our show. And to see it end so soon after its rebirth, not good. We want to see it go past the 50th and make it all the way to the 100th. Though most of us won't be alive by the time the 100th comes around. But that's how Doctor Who fans are. We're really big into our stuff. And for it to end like this, yeah. So I'm guessing that at some point they'll figure a way around the whole limited regenerations and find a way to give him more regenerations. But we'll see. First of all, we got to find out what's Capaldi's Doctor. Is it the 12th, the 13th? Which one is it? And also, but there's one big question about what I've heard on the previews, the commercials for the Day of the Doctor. He said that he's had many faces, many lives. Could this be the fact that maybe he has more than 13 regenerations? Because in the end of the Name of the Doctor, he said that this person wasn't the Doctor. It was him, but it wasn't the Doctor. So does that mean that like a persona maybe gets only 12 regenerations? So the Doctor's persona only gets 12 regenerations, and maybe this other version gets his own 12 regenerations. Because we still got to go through the oh Lord, the other version of the Doctor, the darker version. It's supposed to happen between the 12th and the 13th Doctor, the Valeyard. Boy, I feel stupid. Don't stone me. Ooh. But we still got to go through the Valeyard and his particular version. So, I mean, could this mean though that they like a different persona might get 12 regenerations of his own? Because this is not supposed to be the Doctor, even though they're introducing him as the Warrior Doctor. He's not supposed to be the Doctor, period, because Matt Smith's Doctor said he didn't do it in the name of the Doctor. He's supposed to take in another name. So what is that name? Will he be the Valeyard? This is all speculation at this point, and that's the fun part about Doctor Who, especially waiting for the special, is the fact that all the speculation going on down there. If you read the forums, which any Doctor Who fan has, you know people are going insane with just wondering what's going to happen. And so much excitement going around, especially with every video that keeps on coming out, every bit of little clip that we get to see. It's building up the anticipation for this big 50th anniversary, and I hope it lives up to all the hype, because it would be a major disappointment, especially for something that's been around for 50 years. I don't know of any episodic television show that has ever made it 50 years. That is quite the accomplishment, and I hope it stays around for another 50 years. It would be outstanding to be the longest running TV series in history. Something that no other show could touch. No Star Trek, no, hell, maybe even longer than the soap operas, because I know the soap operas have probably right now overall have got the longest running shows, because they go non-stop throughout the year. But maybe they can even beat them, especially with them going off the air as of late. But Anyways, I hope everyone here is excited as I am for the 50th anniversary. It'll be on tomorrow. Tomorrow, Saturday, the 23rd at 2:50 p.m. Eastern Time. And the thing is, it's going to be shown everywhere at the same time. Well, with our differences in time zones, but you get what I'm meaning. The fact is, tomorrow is the day of the Doctor, and I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am. Because, sad part is, though, I won't get to see it as it comes on because I'm working. Yes, I'm working, and it sucks. So, we'll just have to DVR it and watch it later. If I had known I was going to work, I would have taken time off, which I should have. Being a Doctor Who fan, I know. Bash away. Anyways, what do y'all people think? What do y'all think is going to happen? What are y'all feelings about where Doctor Who is heading? Especially over this next year with the way Matt Smith's era is ending and Peter Capaldi's era is beginning. Let me know what you think, because let's get some discussion started here. And what do you think about some of my speculations on it? I'm really interested in hearing what you think. So, any comment or whatever, just leave below in the comment section. I'll be keeping check on it throughout the rest of the day as well as tomorrow. And just do me one favor. Don't spoil it for me. No spoilers, okay? I want to watch it without knowing what's exactly going to happen, okay? Alright. Well, this is Krimson signing out.